104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Our good friends over at the Great Danes always doing big things, and that's why every Friday we like when we get a call from Mark Benson, the athletic director. Mark, first things first, this lacrosse team just continues to be impressive.
Oh, yeah, great season again, and, coming off a year when you lose Lyle Thompson and the way that, Scott Moore retooled our offense and the way that, guys stepped up on the team. Great season. We had 4 of our Great Danes were honored as All-Americans, which is tied the program record for a single season. So it tells you that, we are a lot more talent here than just the Thompson brothers, who were obviously a huge part of our success. Blaze Warden was just added to the active roster for Rochester Rattlers in the MLL, and had a great career here for us. It's good to see him continuing that as well. So great season, great recognition for our players as All-Americans, and then the ability to continue playing the pros. So really looking forward. We have a lot of young players coming back to see how they do next season.
I love it. And, Scott Marr, his program, I feel like it just breeds success for your lacrosse team, and it's so much fun to watch it as it continues to grow.
No, we really have a unique brand, national brand with our lacrosse program, and I think it's at the point where it's the type of style of play that kids love to play, that they know us from the East Coast to the West Coast, North and South. So Scott's done a tremendous job. And really, usually when you think of national exposure in college athletics for your University of Albany, it's typically basketball, football, but which do provide that for us here. But also the added boost of men's lacrosse. You can go about anywhere and find a UAlbany Great Dane lacrosse fans. It's a great program to follow and to watch. And then
we're in the summertime. Even though the Yankees suck, we can still talk about Great Danes baseball as well.
Yeah, our baseball program had a really good year, really heading in the right direction. Finished 5th in the regular season and made it to the semis for our American East tournament, and had a number of players named to the all-conference team. Kyle Sachs and Dominic Savino earned all-conference honors, which was great. And I think we're really heading in the right direction with our baseball program, and eventually lost to Stony Brook who went on to the championship. But really good season, and again, kind of like lacrosse, a lot of good young talent. So it'd be great to see what Coach Mueller does next season.
Yeah, we love when Coach Bam Bam Mueller calls us up and rubs my nose in the fact that he's a Sox and Redskins fan.
He and I have that in common. I'm a Redskins fan, having grown up in the D.C. area, and then to keep my peace at home, big Red Sox. My wife's family are big Red Sox fans, so I can relate to him in that manner. But I didn't know his nickname was. So you've given me something new here to work
with. Mark, the honors for UAlbany, it amazes me as we look at, we talked about lacrosse. You got guys on Major League rosters up for big awards. The baseball team, has another fantastic season. And UAlbany going to be represented in the Olympics?
That's right. Grace Claxton on our women's track and field qualified for the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro in the 400 hurdles, and so we've had other Olympians from our track program, but Grace is the first female student athlete to qualify for the Olympics. And earlier in the year she had set a record at the 10 relays and then broke her own record, and so she will be heading off to the Rio de Janeiro for the Olympic Games. We're really excited. A great opportunity for Grace Claxton. And Coach Vives continues to do an outstanding job with our track and field program. I think the number is 11 consecutive championships on the men's side, and I believe 5 on the women's. So really, I hope it's a story that gets some more recognition with Grace, because it's quite an honor to be selected, and to do that from UAlbany against the national competition she's up against is a tremendous feat.
Mark, I got to have you reach out to her for me, if you will, because I'd love to ask her about the decision-making process right now, because all we're hearing about Rio is, mosquitoes, the Zika virus, the water issues, and I've said it's not fair to the athletes, because there's no way I'd back out if I have a chance to represent my country and win a medal, but I'd still be really concerned about my health.
Yeah, I'd be happy to set you up. It's a real issue. one that would hit home close to me. My wife is expecting our fourth child in the fall.
Oh, congratulations!
And you think about the Zika virus and the conditions that they have that they're going to be competing in is kind of a scary thought. And it's not like it's a football game or a basketball game or one individual meet where you could just maybe pick up and move. So there's some real challenges to, even if they wanted to move locations, how do you move that big an event with that many moving parts and that, means so much to the local economy there. So it's definitely an unfortunate dilemma that, Grace is going to have to work through and many others. But it's just a shame that the athletes are faced with those prospects.
I agree. Mark Benson, athletic director of UAlbany, with us right here. Now, Mark, yesterday I was hanging out with Coach Cash, the women's golf coach for UAlbany. She's playing this weekend in the Symetra Tour over at Capitol Hills. And in the Pro-Am, she played with you. And it turns out you don't know if you're left or right-handed.
It is confusing. I definitely know that I write left-handed, but I do alternate lefty-righty depending on what set of clubs is in front of me. And I will say I don't do it well in either direction, lefty or righty. I'm a struggling amateur golfer. However, I will say, and not to plug another media, Kelly O'Donnell, I believe, has some footage of the one really good shot that I hit all day. But playing with somebody like Coach Cash is, it's a good way to see somebody who really knows the game of golf, and excited for her opportunity this weekend to compete as a player.
Mark, you can bring up Kelly O'Donnell whenever you want. I'm on Upstate Sports Edge with him every Tuesday. That's fine. Kelly's always welcome on this show. There
you go. Well, I did forfeit one of my swings to Kelly after he interviewed Coach Cash, and I must say he hit it pretty well.
Yeah, he doesn't get out enough, he says, flat out. But when he does well, and that's why I hate him, because I don't get out enough, and I still suck.
We should play together then, because I had an old boss that used to tell me, show me a really good golfer that's an administrator or a coach, and I'll show you somebody who's looking for their next job. And so I'm not in danger there because my golf game is really bad.
Mark Benson, athletic director of UAlbany. Yeah, we're all rooting for Coach Cash this weekend and really hoping she wins this thing. I'd like to see her running around in that brand new Kia Forte if she wins this thing on the weekend.
It would be great for her to, she's competing for, herself, UAlbany. I think Mohawk Honda is sponsoring her, but She told me it's a really interesting dynamic because there are players in that field that she coached in high school. There are a few older players that she competed with back in the early 2000s when she was actually on tour, and everywhere in between. So she said it's just kind of an interesting place to be, and I just hope she enjoys it and has a great, fun weekend.
Mark, I hope you have a fun weekend as well. We always enjoy talking to you.
Always great talking to you guys. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
You too.